Professional photography tips. You snap lots of life's memories to cherish, enjoy and share with friends and family, but how do you ensure you're capturing the type of photos you want? Aperture (d) is the size of a hole, usually at the back of the lens, that allows light into the lens to hit the sensor. We measure the aperture in f-stops. The smaller the f number, the wider the hole. Yes, it seems a little backward, so obviously, the wider the hole, the more light enters the lens. This is why your camera will call aperture (aperture value). Shutter speed, TV, so aperture controls how much light enters the lens, shutter speed controls how fast that light enters. This is why shutter speed is often known as time value, hence TV printed on your camera dial. 1. Freeze using shutter speed. I took this image of the water tower, in Cardiff. In order to freeze the flow of the water that constantly streams down the tower, I used a shutter speed of 1/320. I experimented with a few different speeds until I was happy with the results. Because TV controls how fast the light enters the camera, a fast shutter speed lets in less light than a slow shutter speed. To compensate, I opened the aperture to f3.5 to increase the amount of light. 2. Deep blacks. Drop the blacks to purposefully lose detail, makes for a more dramatic image. It totally works in travel photography too. I used Adobe Lightroom (LR) to increase the amount of black and shadows in the image. 3. Frame up and wait. Find a great spot, frame up, and wait for someone to walk by. Typically a shutter speed of 1/200 or 1/250 should be fine to stop people walking fast becoming a blur, unless you want that blur. 4. Crop. Don't be afraid to use the crop tool to get rid of anything in the frame you don't like and or to make the image neater and more powerful. 5. Flat depth. For certain shots, I have a style that I call flat depth. The image has been framed so everything sits on various horizontal strips. Along the bottom of the frame are the chairs and a few people dotted about. Above that is the pond, then some more people and trees, and then the wheel and sky. In reality, you are actually looking at an area about 50 meters deep, but my framing makes the area seem reasonably flat. I often create images like this as I find it pretty pleasing. To do this yourself, look out for patterns in the photos and perhaps even get down on your knees, or lower, to create that perspective. 6. Understand story. All cities have a rich history with many stories to find. Understanding those stories and adding your own spin is a great way to create images. 7. Use the big light in the sky. 9 times out of 10, your travel photos will be taken using available light, i.e. you won't be adding any flash, so use the sun to your advantage. You don't always have to put your back to it, turn towards it a little and get some cool lens flare. Real lens flare is infinitely better looking than the fake stuff added in post.